Okay,
it's officially 9:30. We'll call the meeting to order and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And take the roll, please.
Commissioner Look. Here. Commissioner Brassad. Here. Commissioner Kordiak. Here. Commissioner Silveraja.
Here.
Commissioner Gamache.
Here.
Commissioner Schulte.
Here.
The first item is tax claims and abatements. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Brassad. Aye. Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte. Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Right, motion carries. Then we have the review of checks issued from Finance and Central Services and from Human Services. Is there a motion to approve?
Move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Then we have the approval of our minutes from our July 24th County Board meeting. Is there a motion to approve? Is
So moved.
there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Well, we have one item today under Chair's remarks. The American Legion is the largest wartime veteran service organization with nearly 2 million members and more than 12,000 posts in communities throughout our nation, including many right here in Anoka County. The first national convention of the American Legion was held in Minnesota in 1919. This year, the national convention returns here beginning August 24th, launching a year-long recognition of 100 years of service to our veterans, their families, and current service members. Joining us this morning to tell us more about the important work the American Legion does and the upcoming convention is Bishop Dan Williams, and he has many others with him, and I'll let him introduce everyone. Dan is one of the vice presidents of the American Legion 2018 convention. So Bishop Dan, thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, Madam Chairman and Commissioners. Thank you all for having us. And on behalf of the entire American Legion, not only within the United States, but the 5 other countries that we are represented in, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am joined this morning by our department commander, Darrell Reddypenny, and he'll say a couple words, and also by our Anoka Post Commander, and Commander Reddypenny will give you the name of our post commander, and our unit president from the Anoka Post. The Anoka Post happens to be one of what I would call our flagship post, and we want to thank you for attending various functions there. The American Legion, we certainly are set up to serve veterans. We have a number of things that we have done, if you look through our history, such as being the author of the original GI Bill. But we also care for the families of veterans and children. For example, as you are looking at the needs of children within the county of Anoka, why not consider the American Legion? We have emergency assistance for children of veterans. We have school safety patrol at our Legionville. We have boys' states and girls' states. So we are an organization that cares about the entire family. We also care for our service members that are deployed. And this historic event that's coming up at the near the end of this month certainly recognizes the history that we've had, but it also marks history. This convention will be the first convention of the American Legion that will be presided over by our first female national commander, Denise Rohan. So we're marking history, but we're also making history. The proclamation that you are presenting us with today, your remarks, will go in a book that will be presented to her with national, state, and local proclamations, resolutions, and letters of commendations. So I can, I am really a consecrated bishop, so I can give you a demonstrative sermon on eternity, but I won't do that today. But I will step aside and present our department commander, Darrell Reddy Penning, and he'll give you the names of our president and commander. Commander.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, with us today is the post commander here at Anoka, Doug Hookham, and the unit president of the auxiliary here in Anoka is Sue Nunley. I also am a longtime member here at the Anoka Post. So a lot of the events coming up this year are very special for me. I was just elected here a couple of weeks ago and created a little history in and of itself. I am the first state commander that is the son of a state commander. My father, Bud Redepenning, was commander back in 1986 and 87, and Dad's still alive and doing well here in Anoka. He's 91 years old, and he was part of my installation, and by the time he got done, there wasn't a dry eye in the place, so it was very emotional. But we're very much looking forward to our centennial year, which is kicking off here in August. This is our 100th convention, like Bishop Dan told you. I'm making for a motto this year, 100 years of making a difference. Because that's what we do in the American Legion. We make a difference. We make a difference with our fellow veterans, we make a difference with our children, and we make a difference in our community. We're really shining with Anoka this year. We just completed Saturday our American Legion Legacy Run. Just a little briefing on what that is. We have a group within the Legion called the American Legion Riders. They're a motorcycle group that goes collecting money for what's called the Legacy Fund. And the Legacy Fund is raising scholarship money for kids who lost a parent on the war on terrorism. So it's a very noble cause. Obviously, if you lose a parent in this day and age, your opportunities to go to school have probably diminished quite a bit. So we had the state function come here on Sunday, and that was about 250 people. We have the National Legacy Run coming into Anoka on the 23rd. That's a Thursday afternoon, so if you're wondering why there's 500 motorcycles coming down Main Street, that's the reason why. So we're very excited about that. Both Doug and Sue have been very much involved in this. We've been planning this for about 9 or 10 months now, so we're looking forward to that too. But thank you very much for considering a proclamation for our organization. We're very proud of our 100th convention taking place here in Minneapolis. There's going to be a lot of special things taking place with it, and we're going to try and make this the best convention we've ever had. One of the highlights will be our national parade. As you can well imagine, it's hard to get bands to participate in parades these days, and I think at last count, I think we're at about 22 bands. So it's going to be a wonderful parade to help us celebrate our 100 years. So thank you very much for considering this, and thank you for having us.
Thank you, Commander. And with our legacy run, just to piggyback on that, our goal, the Minnesota goal this year is $250,000. Last year in Reno, we presented a check for $200,000. By the way, the department that came in second, they were about $70,000. So Minnesota, again, has led the way in the Legacy Scholarship. The Minnesota Department also sponsors a chair at the University of Minnesota Brain Science Foundation. I happen to be I guess I'll say, survivor of a traumatic brain injury. And this type of research is extremely important. I know firsthand what it means to learn to walk again, to have to go through speech therapy to learn to talk again. And so we are more than just these hats that you see. We are committed to serve our community, as it says in our preamble, community, state, and nation. So, Madam Chair, Commissioners, if there are any questions you have for me, I'd be happy to take them. Other than that, I'll step away.
Any questions at all or comments?
Just make one question real quick. You mentioned the parade. What's the date on the parade? Where is it going to be held?
That will be Sunday, August 26th. It will be on Nicollet Mall. I believe we're starting about 4 o'clock. And we're starting at, I think, 5th Street, going up to 12th Street.
Thank you.
A great time to be had by all.
Yeah, thank you.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, thank you so much for your time.
Commissioner Cordia?
I thought the might just comment, Madam Chair. I can say that from my southern portion of Anoka County that the Leagues have been an important part of our community, quite frankly. I've been part of it, of course, as all of us had for so many, many years. You're active citizens, you're recognized citizens, you're active in our community, you make donations and contributions. You're very involved, and I appreciate all that you've done. I can't imagine a community quite without you, so thank you for your service.
Thank you, Commissioner, and your
Thank you.
family.
You bet.
Thank you, Bishop Williams and Commander Redepingy and Doug and Sue. We just really appreciate not only your service to our country for the three of you who have served, but then also your continued service to our community after coming back home and to those other families as well. We're just really honored to be able to recognize and show our appreciation to our veterans and our members of the American Legion and the auxiliary as well. And you just have had such a profound impact on our entire county and our nation for so many years. And we're really proud of the leadership role that so many of you from our local community have really taken within the organization. So, you know, Americans who you put yourselves in harm's way in order to really protect our way of life and our freedoms, and we just really are so eternally grateful for your willingness to do that, and we're just honored to be able to pay some respect back and to really celebrate this 100-year anniversary with you.
Thank you.
So at this time, I'd like to ask my fellow commissioners to join me in supporting Resolution 2018-109, proclaiming August 24th through the 30th as American Legion Week in Anoka County. And any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Again, thank you, and we're looking forward to your celebration.
Thank you.
All right, now we will move on to committee reports. So the first is Management Committee report, and Commissioner Brastad will take that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We met on July 24th and came away with a few informational items that are listed there. And with that, that concludes my report.
All right, fantastic. Now the Transportation Committee report. Commissioner Schulte.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had the opportunity to meet on August 6th here in the Government Center, and we came away with a number of action items. First, in the Highway Division, the committee recommends approval of a resolution authorizing Anoka County to enter into a local road improvement program agreement with the Minnesota Department of Transportation for the roundabout construction on Lake Drive in the city of Columbus.
And I will offer the resolution. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Cordia?
Aye.
Commissioner Silverbacher?
Aye.
Commissioner Nash?
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Commissioner Lopez?
Aye.
Brassad?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item, the committee recommends approval of a resolution authorizing Anoka County to enter into an advanced construction federal funding agreement with the Minnesota Department of Transportation for the project that is the County State Aid Highway 14 Bridge to address the failing bridge support mechanisms, which includes minor modifications to existing guardrail, concrete curb and median, bridge deck expansion joint replacement, as well as the relocation of existing private access in the city of Grand Rapids. And I would move the resolution.
Okay, resolution has been offered by Commissioner Schulte. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item?
Next, the committee recommends approval to enter into a joint powers agreement with the city of Fridley for the East River Road Overlay Project to construct a sidewalk along the east side of East River Road between 61.5 Street and Mississippi Street.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye. Motion carries.
And the last action item on our agenda relates back to item 2, which the committee recommends approval of a contract to the certified low bidder. Actually, we're going to withhold this one. We're going to table this because, for clarity, we have received bids on this project. We got a good bid, a low bid that's lower than our engineer's estimate. However, we have to verify the DBE, the Disadvantaged Business
Enterprise.
Enterprise of the contractor. From my recollection, it's a new contractor for Anoka County that we've not seen before. So we want to verify all this stuff before we actually authorize it through the county board. So for that reason, we'll be removing item 4 from the agenda.
Okay.
And that does conclude my report, Madam Chair.
All right, now we'll move on to Intergovernmental Relations Committee report. And it was informational items only. We reviewed preliminary department budgets for the Medical Examiner's Office, the Veterans Service Office, and the Intergovernmental and Community Relations Department as well. And just letting departments know that the legislative session will be very fast approaching, so we will be asking for legislative platform issues to be brought forward so that we can be ready and prepared when the legislative session starts on Tuesday, January 8th. Next, we will have the Parks and Community Services Committee report. Commissioner Kordiak.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The item is pretty straightforward, but I'll let Jeff, Mr. Perry, hone his skills and bring them before you. First one's regarding our change in the title of our Parks Department, kind of a history repeating itself.
Madam Chair, members of the board, good morning. My name is Jeff Perry, Park Director for Anoka County. The first item is changing the Parks and Community Services Committee title to Parks Committee, which is pretty self-explanatory with the reorganization. And the second part to the action is to change the name of the Parks and Recreation Department to Parks Department. And the reason for that is based on the confusion with city parks and recreation departments, and to separate the county and just refer us as the Parks Department. It'll simplify our branding, our logos, and a lot of the colleagues from around the country, the county park agencies refer to themselves as Parks Departments. So, Madam Chair, Commissioners, that is the action item before you.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Further discussion?
I'll just comment, Madam Chair, that Mr. Perry, his staff, our IT people, so on, we're happy with that. I think the committee was supportive and understanding of that, so I think we're content and happy that it worked out this way.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
And we have one more donation, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is what I believe to be the final donation to the Coon Lake Veterans Memorial. And we had a very successful ceremony there on July 7th. Was well attended by members of the public, by our county board, as well as some other local elected officials. And it's for $1,000 that will go towards paying the expenses for this project, and it's from the Ham Lake Lanes in Ham Lake. So we're very fortunate to have received about $11,500 worth of donations for this project, and it's a very successful project that the county is very proud of.
Is there an offer of the resolution?
I'll offer that.
Resolution has been offered. Is there further discussion?
Madam Chair, I'll just comment that I would like to congratulate Commissioner Brasted once again for a very fine day and a fine event. I think it's an outstanding addition to that park, and just what a wonderful edifice it is. And it's been pictured in a variety of different ways already, and I'm sure we'll see it again and again as years and time pass. But thank you for that, Commissioner.
Okay, and with that, roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye. Motion carries. Our final item is to consider approving the following liquor license application as, I'm sorry, did you have?
I was just going to comment, Madam Chair, not
I'm
overly
sorry.
important.
I just kind of launched
There
into
were
the next
simply-
item.
I understand how that works. There were some brief information items. One of them is the county spends a lot of time collecting wood, and annually we do a firewood sale, and it's open to the public and on our line services. I think we do a very successful job of selling wood opportunity to our citizenry and generate a few dollars for our system. And so that is underway. It'll start in September now and do that. We talked about small contract, which is pretty straightforward. And maybe lastly, we've done so many things as commissioner, remarkable place that we stood on, bridge decks and so on and so forth. We had the opportunity to tour the Bunker Beach baffling system effectively that creates the waves in the pool. And it's a huge 30-year-old infrastructure that I think that we recognize. We already supported some structural change that should be lasting for a few years, but we had to take a long look at the next 30 years and where we're going. And I might caution us that we may need to think about some major retrofit there. It was interesting to have the opportunity to tour that, to see that aspect of this beach facility, and maybe it's one more fascinating thing that we as commissioners get to enjoy and view. So I caution you, we'll be talking about it again someday. And that concludes my report, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Apologize.
That's-
Just jumped right in. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Jeff. Next, we will consider approving the following liquor license application as reviewed by and consented to by the township, sheriff, and attorney. I will remind you that we do this because Linwood is the only township left within Anoka County. It is for the Stacy Lions Club, a one-day on-sale 3.2 malt liquor license, and I will move approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. And then I would just like to extend my appreciation today on primary day to all of the election judges, our election staff, as well as the poll watchers. I know that they put in a great deal of time and energy and take their job very seriously because it is a very serious job and it is so important to really our democracy. So I appreciate all of their hard work, and I know that the rest of you do as well, and encourage people to exercise the right to vote today. And with that, meeting is, oh, go ahead.
Just to remind the board members that we have the electronic registration thing, yeah, which worked great this morning already. I was there bright and early, so went right through, and looking forward to seeing how things work out the rest of the day, but so far so good.
Awesome, thank you. And with that, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Cool.